In this lesson, we will review adding and positioning windows. To begin adding windows, first launch your tool palettes, and from the tool palette, find the Design category, the Design group, and then the Design tab and the Window tool. Click the Window tool to get started, and let's review the options or parameters that we have available. First, Window Style. In this drawing I currently have several different window styles available to choose from: a casement, a double casement, double hung, glider, picture, and standard. So maybe I'll get started with a double hung window. Next, you choose the standard size. So this particular window type has a large number of standard sizes you can choose from, or you can always simply type in a value for width and height on either of these two lines. The Measure To option is typically set to outside of frame, and the open percent currently is set to 0. You may be wondering about open percent for windows, but depending on the window type, this makes a lot of sense. For example, casement windows, they could be swinging in or out, swinging out of your design, so you can adjust the swing angle accordingly. Let me switch back to double hung. If you don't want to see this illustration because it's taking up too much space, click the icon on the title bar. Now we can see the remainder of the options. The next option is to position along the wall, and currently it's set to unconstrained. We also have options for vertical alignment and head height and sill height. So the vertical alignment is currently set to head height. When it's set to head height, we are specifying the height of the window by choosing its head height. If it was set to sill, notice I cannot type in head height anymore, and I can specify the sill height. So I'll return it to head height. So position along the wall is set to unconstrained. At this point in time, you need to click a wall to tell the program that you are actually going to insert the window into a wall. If you do not pick a wall, if you simply hit the Enter key, you can see the window will be attached to your crosshair, and it doesn't actually place the window and cut it into the wall. So when you're placing the window, what you want to do is fill in all the parameters, and currently I still have it set to unconstrained, but then pick a wall to let the program know that you are going to place a window that should interact and cut into the walls. The unconstrained movement allows you to place the window exactly where you want along the length of the wall. It gives you temporary dimensions to help you do that. If you wanted to place a window a specific distance from another intersection, you can just hit the Tab key to highlight the temporary dimension that you want to change, and then type in a value. And the window is placed that specific distance away from the intersection. To speed this up, you can predefine those distances by changing this to offset or center. And my offset distance is now set on the line below. It's set to 6 inches. So you can see that it jumps to 6 inches from any other opening or any other wall detects, or actually centered between those openings. You can still always tab to get to those temporary dimensions and change the value if you don't want to use the predefined values. So I'll move over here and add a couple additional windows. I'll change that predefined offset center to 24 inches. Place a window there. Place a window there. I'm going to zoom in and take a look at the graphics here. This is the double hung window, and you can see currently it is showing the two different panes of glass. Different window types will have different graphics. If I pre-select a window and double click, bring up the Properties palette and change it from one type to the next, you'll see the graphic change accordingly. So now it's to a single casement window. Here's the graphic for a double casement window. Double hung we've already seen, glider, picture, standard. And you can customize these graphics when you create window styles, and we'll look at that in a future lesson. After you've placed a window, if it's not exactly positioned where you want, changes are easy using the grip edits. If you pre-select a window, there are many different grips displayed. These two arrow-shaped grips are the flip grips, which actually reverse the window in place. Now these windows are symmetrical, so you're not going to notice much of a difference, but if you had a sill applied or an apron applied to the window, you would see the sill flip from one side to the next. Or if it was a type of window, such as a casement, and there was an opening percentage applied to it, you'll see the window actually swings in or out, and you can use the flip grips to reverse them. The other grips, this is the location grip, allows you to move it along the length of the wall. I don't know if you noticed, let me go back and hover over top of the grip without actually clicking on it. There are actually options to allow you to change the position. By pressing the control key, you can cycle between moving along the wall, moving within the thickness of the wall, or moving vertically. So the default function when you click on the window is to slide it along the edge of the wall. That's moving along the length of the wall. And you can use the temporary dimensions to tell it how far from the previous point to move it. But what if I wanted to move it within the thickness of the wall? If this wall, if the window frame needed to move forward or back, if you click on the window, click on the grip, first it defaults to moving along the length of the wall. Then press, but do not hold, press the control key. And look at the tooltip. My tooltip now says it's moving within the width of the wall. So I can actually move the window forward or back within the thickness of the wall relative to its last known position. So I can type in a distance if I like. And the window is moved forward or back within the wall thickness. And the other option isn't going to be so obvious here. Moving along, moving within, or moving vertically. So even if I change the vertical distance here, but it is moving the window up and down, but I prefer to do that from a different view, not from the plan view. Pressing Control again takes you back to the first option. So just tap the Control key to cycle between all those different options. And hit Escape or Enter when you're done. The last two grips allow you to adjust the width of the window. If you click on a grip and start changing its location, you'll get the temporary dimensions, and you can type in a value. And you can hit the Tab key to cycle between the temporary values that you want to change. So here's the change in width that's highlighted right now, or Tab to enter in the new overall width. If you're looking for window types that have mulled together units, say there's a pair of windows, this command, this tool, the window tool, was not really designed for that, but you can kind of achieve those graphics by cheating the system a little bit. I'll zoom into this one window. If you simply use the copy command, copy a window, and use your O snaps so that the frames are overlapping, it'll give you the appearance of a window unit that has been mulled together. Now, this doesn't give you the exact results you're after in terms of window scheduling, but if you're just after a quick way to give you the graphics you need, that may do the trick. And the other thing, if you ever need to add a window into a drawing without walls, for example, you have an existing conditions drawing, remember that option that was available when we first started adding the window. Add window. Notice the command line says pick a wall, space boundary, grid assembly, return. So do not pick a wall, and then the window is attached to your crosshair, and you can pick an insertion point and rotate it. So you still have to clean up the line work, but it gives you a method to insert a window object, still with its grip so you can make whatever changes you like, and update that object. So to quickly review, adding windows, go to the tool palette and find the window command. If there are different window types that aren't part of your drawing that you want to use, you may switch to another tab on the palette to give access to other window types. You start the window command, review the parameters, change the size, the width, the height, the swing angle if necessary, and the position along the wall offsets, and then pick a wall into which you want to insert the window. You have the temporary dimensions which you can tab between to change the values, and when you click, the window is placed. And after the window is placed, grip editing, select the window and move over top of the different grips to make changes to the window. And if you don't want the window there anymore, simply pre-select and use the erase key or hit the delete button on your keyboard. So now you have a good idea of what it takes to add windows into your drawings.